Greetings, friends. It's election year, an off election year, whatever. The midterm elections coming up. I did my voting, and I did not vote for a Republican nor a Democrat because I do not believe in either one of those parties. Either one will ever serve the interest of the majority of American citizens. So I went out on a limb and I voted for candidates for the Unity Party and some for the Libertarian Party, where Unity Party members were not on the ballot. And the reason the Unity Party appeals to me, it's only been around since 2004, but they don't have any major people in any offices yet, but they are making headway, and I want to just discuss it for a few minutes with you, tell you some things about it that I've learned. I'm just barely scratching the surface here. But the Unity Party, in their platform, they stand for a balanced budget. They want a balanced budget amendment. Now, I know the United States budget never going to be balanced at $30 trillion just about now in debt. That's never going to be balanced. But we're talking about state government here primarily, I guess, and local, county, and city governments. Affirm the Second Amendment. I've never owned a gun in my life, shot lots of them in the military. Not a big gun person, but I do respect the right for American citizens to own their own guns if they want to, for whatever purposes, as far as their own protection, hunting, that kind of thing, using it in a safe and decent manner, moral manner, not to go out and inflict harm on somebody unnecessarily, of course. Affirm the Fourth Amendment, and that is that the right of people to be secure in their person, in their house, their papers, effects should not be violated. Big believer in the Fourth Amendment. And, of course, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, which both of these, the First and Fourth Amendment, are under attack right now, in case you didn't notice. Eliminate the federal income tax. The income tax has only been around 100 years, and it's really kind of a mess what they do with our tax money. So I think we ought to eliminate the federal tax system and come up with a better way to generate tax revenues. You know, the value-added tax is one way. There's many other options. Healthcare tax deduction. There ought to be a healthcare tax. In that way, we would be able to eventually have universal healthcare for all people. And that's what they have in European countries that are much more advanced and modern in that respect than the United States. Social Security tithe pool. And I'm not going to get into all these because there's too many. Supporting our military. I do support military. I just believe we should not have a bloated, overextended military where we have presence in over 130 or so countries. That's too much. We need to pull back on that. Free and fair trade. Congressional term limits. We should have term limits for Senate, Congress, and for judges, I believe. Judicial term limits, too, of course. They support that. And no gerrymandering, you know, the way they go up and they take these districts and they fix them so that they can get their party elected. We got to stop that process. That's corruption. The United States ranks pretty high in the world in corrupt governments. We have a corrupt government, is corrupt as many out there. And so we need to rein in that corruption. And just mention a few more here. Call for DC statehood. I imagine that'd be a good idea. You see, blah, blah, blah. And better make voting easier for people, as it is in Colorado. We can vote by ballot. You don't have to go stand in line as you do in many states. And dealing with climate change, we have to adapt to that, not go crazy with it and start creating more problems, trying to fight climate change by bankrupting ourselves. We need to just start being smarter about how we're dealing with it in terms of adapting to it. So that's my plug for the Unity Party. I think the Libertarian Party is all right, too. I do like a lot of the things they stand for. I look at the Republicans and Democrats like this. They've had the power for a very, very long time now, and look at the results where we are today with that program, okay? Think of it like this, like the NFL, if you're into sports or anything, just using it as an analogy. When you watch a football team play in the Super Bowl, you see two teams opposing each other, okay? You think they're really different. But in the end, they shake hands, they hug, they're all millionaires, they go out on their yachts and their clubs, dining and wining together. And that's the way it is with Republicans and Democrats. They're a lot more alike than they are different. They're in a club. As George Carlin famously said, you're not in it, I'm not in it, we're never going to be in it. Even if you were to join one of those parties, you're still not going to be a member of the club unless you're in the elite upper 1% or more in wealth. Because right now, the political parties, they are there designed to serve corporate interest first and foremost, not the citizens of America, not the betterment of the people that run this country every day and work hard to keep it going. They support the big corporate interest, the wealthy people, and that's got to stop. So Check it out. Check out your candidates in your area for the Unity Party or the Libertarian Party, and let's get the Republicans and Democrats out of Dodge and start making this country great again. Really great, or at least better.